Good afternoon, good morning, Fabulites. This is Angela with another edition of Notes on the News, where I read to you headlines from my news feed and share with you my thoughts about those headlines based on the article, the paragraph following the article, just the headline, some additional research or years of expertise on the subject. But let me just affirm for you, just as the title says, it's not news. So let us proceed. All right. So we got a look back at the evolution of black hair and the people who shaped it. So they start, I think it was like 1641 on the shores of Africa. That's back. That's pretty far back, but it ain't just back. But yeah, I was like, okay. But I didn't read the article. I just clicked on it. Angela Dimayuga expands on why she left Mission Chinese. I don't know why I clicked on that article, but it was something. So read it. Be Fabulous You is my newsfeed on Twitter. Most of these articles end up over there. Ferocious winds whipping up a wildfire outside LA, forcing 27,000 people to flee their homes. Samsung's 512 GB chip will give your phone PC-like storage. Whoa! That's a lot of storage, right? That's a lot of storage. How gerrymandering has made the black vote a form of token representation. When I participated in that redistricting in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, I understand gerrymandering, and I understand how you draw those lines, that it is significant, and how you can artificially draw lines to create, to distribute power. I had heard the term before, but until I participated in the process and saw what was done and how it was justified, I just had no idea. Romania's former King Michael I dies at the age of 96. A lot of these elder statesmen I don't know if he's been the king, and I don't know how the things work in Romania. Holiday shoppers have a new habit, and it's good for retailers. You know what the new habit is? Getting gifts for themselves. So retailers are like, the more you spend, the better. Get a gift for yourself too. And I think we spend more on ourselves than the other people. Phablets, that's a phone combined with a tablet, will become the most popular smartphone type by 2019. Living in Japan for a year, I saw reasons for its demographic time bomb everywhere. And now I'm seeing the same troubling signs at home. They said a demographic time bomb. I'm like, what does it mean? Are they talking about democracy, a democratic time bomb? But they were talking about a demographic, like the demographics, like the fact that there are so many old people and not so many young people, and the people are not having children, and the people are focused on work and career and not on having children. And I heard a young YouTuber say just last night, and I thought it was really interesting. She said, I can't remember exactly what she said, but basically she was like, as long as the person is focused on their career and doing well on their career, then that's the most important thing. Children, whatever, but the most important thing is, doing well in your career and being able to support yourself and your children. So I was kind of like, when she said it, I was kind of like, I was kind of surprised. But that's probably like a millennial attitude. I don't know. Border arrests have plunged to a 45-year low, but deportation arrests in the U.S. interior are soaring. Thanks, President Zero and your cronies and crew and supporters. Pizza Hut is delivering beer and wine in certain places. I'm like, it seemed like managing who orders drinks at a restaurant and at who buys drinks at a store is already a big job. It seems like with delivery, That's a whole nother. So now the delivery person is checking IDs. Do they even care? And who's checking to see if they're checking? If somebody is at one site, you can send in a fake person to check to see. I guess you could fake order pizza and beer and then check. But anyway, I'm like, shoot. If I was a little kid who was into drinking, which I wasn't, I'd be ordering pizzas and trying to get them to bring me beer and wine. Dollar stores are dominating retail by betting on the death of the American middle class. JCPenney, Sears, all of those are middle class stores. Department stores are for a middle class. When you don't have a middle class, you don't need a department store. You have the luxury boutiques, the luxury chains, and then you had the dollar stores. And the dollar stores are winning big because the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer, and there's no one to shop, no one can afford, no one is interested in the stores in the middle. Amazon is raising prices at Whole Foods after its highly publicized cuts. So I'm sort of curious, when Amazon took over, did they cut salaries? Because that's what I heard them saying that they were going to do. I heard them saying something to the effect of, in the past, Whole Foods made the mistake of investing in employees, but we're going to invest in customers, because Whole Foods had a reputation for paying their workers fairly and treating them fairly. So when I heard that, I'm like, oh, Amazon is about to cut the pay of the workers. So they cut the prices of the food. Did they cut the pay of the workers? And now they're bringing the prices of the food back. But are they going to bring the pay of the workers back? I mean, I'm just curious as to, how these big corporations operate and, who they making money for. They're not here for the shoppers. They're not here for the employees. They're here for the investors. They don't give a, but anyway. And the person was like, it's surprising because them lowering prices was such a big deal and it brought so much attention to them. And then people who hadn't gone to the store started going to the store, started shopping there. The prices creeping up. They don't even notice they creeping up, but they shopping there because they thinking they getting a good deal because they bought into the hype. But the deal ain't really as good as the good deal. And the people who work there, they getting screwed over. I mean, I don't know if that's happening. I'm just proposing a proposal of a proposition of what could be happening probably. Why you should only book early morning flights. Less likely to be delayed. More room on them because most people want to sleep in. There were like 2 or 3 reasons. Twitter officially crowns teen seeking free Wendy's nuggets as the most retweeted tweet of 2017. I think he got like 3.5 million. I don't know. I think he got 3.5 million retweets. And the biggest tweet, he broke the record. But before that, it had been Ellen. She took a selfie at an event with a group of famous people, I think it was. Remember that selfie from like a couple years ago? That held the record till this boy broke the record. But what kind of surprise, this young man, but what kind of surprised me is he trying to get free nuggets. Nuggets cost $1.50, 99 cents, $3. And he asked Wendy's, how many retweets do I have to get free nuggets? And Wendy's was like, 18 million. Oops, hold on a second. I'm like, 18 million when the record was 3.5 million for free nuggets? Damn, y'all working the hell out of him. This 950,000 pound, as in like dollars, but pounds, the British currency, home with a sloping green roof was just voted the best home in Britain. Take a look inside. Ooh, I want a green roof. That's like where stuff grows on your roof. 950,000 pounds. That's like 2 million, 1.5 million, something like that. Robert Mueller's investigation has cost over $3 million in its first 4.5 months. White supremacist group gives Nazi salute, post racist flyers around SMU campus. Southern Methodist University in Texas, I think that's SMU. Hope springs anew with Zimbabwean newborns. Abramorama acquires rights to kangaroo, a love-hate story. The first line of the article was talking about how Australia has a love-hate relationship with kangaroos. Who knew? I mean, what's to hate about a kangaroo? I guess you probably have to live in Australia to understand something like that, or maybe watch the story Kangaroo, a love-hate story. That might explain it. Trump reportedly told Palestine leadership he planned to move U.S. embassy to Jerusalem. Now, I can't remember where it's been. Oh, it's been in Tel Aviv. And there's like some whole big political thing, some big reason why the U.S. embassy has been in Tel Aviv and why Jerusalem is not recognized or some stuff. And Trump Trump and his people, hey, we gonna move it. And they don't care if they cause mess and confusion and chaos. Luxury dog hotel opens in India. Representatives asked GAO to investigate FCC net neutrality comments. Government Accountability Office, I guess there's some office to hold elected officials accountable or agencies accountable. I never heard of GAO, but they want to check into this whole FCC net neutrality thing because there's word on the street is that a lot of the comments are fake. So a million comments have been sent in being like, we support this, but they're fake. That's what the word on the street is. You can't just talk about race anywhere. Detroit youth explores issues around race through the arts. They won some Hagopian art contest, and it was a nice piece. It looked like a fist, but it was abstract. Michigan Nightlight Voices. Cass Tech sophomore experiences disparity in school system firsthand. This is in the Detroit area. And the child was going to Farmington, I think, high school, or some high school in the suburbs. And then, or no, they were going not to high school. They were going to school in the suburbs, and then they transferred into Burton or Roper, or I think it was Burton International, a public school in the city. And they could immediately see the differences. And now they're at Cass. Yeah, they're at Cass. But, they're kind of talking about the differences. Lionel Messi statue in Buenos Aires vandalized again. Who ever heard of Lionel Messi? And they out here vandalizing the statue again and again, cutting the statue off at the ankles and in the calves and stuff. What a guan. Dan Gilbert snags Buell Building downtown. That's in Detroit. The Buell Building. Dan Gilbert, last summer when I was doing tours, it was like 95 buildings that he owns. But I think his company it's more now. Can the Virgin Islands economy recover without United States economic support? This is coming off of Atlanta Black Star, who's talking about the U.S. Virgin Islands. I'm glad to see the Atlanta Black Star talking about them. Nobody talking about the Virgin Islands. If we hear anything, it's about Puerto Rico. But what's going on in the Virgin Islands? They got hit by 2 hurricanes this season. So what's going on? Are they okay? How is their electric grid up? Do people have fresh, good water there? Are they getting food? What a guan? That's the thing about being a colony. Yeah, we can't get no information. I can't. Greta Garbo, letters reveal solitary life of Hollywood star. Former South Carolina officer to be sentenced in shooting death of Walter Scott. It's so many names, I didn't get a chance to look up Walter Scott. I can't remember what the situation was with him. But it's good to see that someone is being sentenced. So I guess they were found guilty. I need to look that story up. House of Cards returns in 2018 without Kevin Spacey. NBC has some serious explaining to do. Historic black settlement burial ground in Canada vandalized. Neighbors search for answers. Satellite images show how large the Rohingya refugee camps have grown as people flee Myanmar. A man who made $9,000 in a month on Airbnb shares his best side gig secrets and explains why he lists a hammock. He's a white guy. It made me curious about what the experiences are of black folks who do Airbnb. A lot of times they give out these rules and stuff, and when the rules apply to some people, but they're not like universal. They think that if it applies to white men, they're universal, but white men's experience is not universal. 7 small ways you can change your daily routine to be happier, healthier, and more productive. Who doesn't want to be happier, healthier, and more productive? LeVar Ball has put his son LiAngelo Ball out of UCLA 4 weeks after arrest to get ready for the NBA draft. He like, I ain't gonna have that child sitting around there being suspended. He done apologized. What else do they want from him? Blood? No, we going to the NBA. I got one in the NBA and the other is going in the NBA. And the people are saying ain't nobody checking for him for the NBA. But LeVar Ball is like, watch me work. That's his name, right? LeVar Ball. So he like, I'm the expert on my sons. You see what they've been doing, so y'all shut up. Supreme Court allows full enforcement of Trump's travel ban as it makes its way through lower courts. We've been talking about Trump packing the courts. Trump, the Republicans, rich white men with property and power, packing the courts with certain types of people who are going to be inclined to be in favor of certain types of things, I would imagine, and who are inclined to see the world in a particular type of way. And so when they're judging things, they're going to be judging things from their perspective, and they're going to be judging things in their interest. So, yeah, we're just talking about the Supreme Court and other courts in the country. In one of America's most miserable cities, home prices have surged 92% in the last 5 years. What makes a city the most miserable city, I wonder? Ice breaks during dog rescue bid. Peace diamond, precious stone, fetches $6.5 million in New York. They say they're going to use that money to build the infrastructure in, it was some African country, I can't remember now, that the diamond was found in. And the person who brokered the deal, I think he said he didn't take a commission. And they're going to use, they say, so I'm interested, I need to, somebody needs to follow this story and research it and give us regular updates. Mueller just abruptly reversed course on his bail agreement with Manafort. He ain't no Manafort, was out here writing secret articles, ghost writing articles and stuff. Is Manafort trying to play Mueller? And Mueller is like, oh, you're not going to play me. I will not be played. Is that what's going on? I don't know. Here's how the iconic Rockettes get paid to do 4 shows a day, change costumes in 78 seconds, and kick up to 1,200 times. It's like around $40,000 a year. Religious liberty or right to discriminate. High court to hear arguments in wedding cake case. British police arrested 188 people for online child abuse in a single week. Wow. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. If each one was just abusing one child, that's a lot of people. Ocean plastic, a planetary crisis, UN, and they had that image. It's like just plastic bottles on this shore. And we just buy plastic bottle after plastic. It's a mess, this whole plastic thing. It's ubiquitous, and it's intense. We need to stop it. Cut out buying plastic bottles. Now, I buy them on occasion, like when we were on the road, I did get some, but I try to get glass bottles. I really do. Ice Age caves discovered underneath city of Montreal. Somebody was looking for them and they found them. Why the color yellow is banned in Catalonia. Supporters rally, demand due process for U.S. Rep. John Conyers, but we know that you might not know, but he resigned this morning. But he still needs due process. Tribes prepare to sue Trump after shrinking wilderness national monuments in Utah by at least half. Beijing is rapidly demolishing its own city, and 27,000 billboards are next. They already done put homeless people out. They say they're gentrifying, as in they're putting people in, because the people, I guess if you're poor, you're not a people. But they moving the poor people out, making room for the wealthier people. Bryan Singer, director fired from Freddie Mercury film. North Korea crisis, UN political chief in rare visit to Pyongyang. Dustin Hoffman spars with John Oliver over harassment claims. You've put me on display here. Is that what Dustin Hoffman said? I don't want to answer these questions. 44 businesses representing more than 30 neighborhoods named first Motor City Restore grant winners. In Asia, a wave of nationalism is creating strict national anthem laws that can land citizens in jail. Oh, you don't want to stand for the national anthem in India and China or whatever? We're arresting you. That's what they want to do here in this country. But this is it. This is what I got for this edition of Notes on the News. Thank you so much for tuning in, for being you, for being fabulous, for subscribing, for coming back. Today is the best day ever. You're the greatest. You're number one. So be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Be you. Be fabulous. Be